Well, guess what? It's time for another round of the truth or myth game. Check out these facts you've known since childhood and try to figure out which of them are actual facts and which are no more than popular misconceptions. Zombies are not made up. True. Okay, we as humans can't turn into ones as we see in movies, but the animal kingdom has its zombies. For instance, one type of fungus takes over ants with specific chemicals. Something changes in the ant brain, so it leaves its family to fulfill a special mission, finding some special branch or leaf where the fungus sprouts out of it and then releases spores back into the world. Bats are blind. Not true at all. The myth probably comes from the fact that they're nocturnal creatures and have extraordinary hearing abilities. They hunt mostly when it's dark and rely on a thing called echolocation, just like whales. But it doesn't mean they're blind. Their eyes aren't useless, they're just adjusted to low-light conditions. The world's biggest waterfall is under the ocean. Now, this one's very true. It's in the Nordic Sea. The cold seawater is denser than the warm waterfall. The drop is almost 2 miles. The smallest wasp in the world is not bigger than an amoeba. Well, this is true as well. This wasp has the same body parts as other bugs, like eyes, wings, brain, legs, and more, but it's just 0.008 inches long, which in most cases makes it smaller than single-celled organisms we also know as amoebas. An ostrich egg will always have several yolks. Not true. Just like a regular chicken egg, an ostrich one has just one yolk. It's pretty large, though, equal to about 24 chicken egg yolks. All dinosaurs were giants. Well, that's false. Movies show them as huge, scaly lizards, but nope. First off, there were many smaller dinosaur species, and some of them were as small as a turkey or a pigeon. Plus, some dinos, like T-Rex, were even covered with feathers, especially at the early stages of their lives. Oxygen is colorless. Well, this one is true, but only partially. As a gas, it has no color, but in solid or liquid form, it has a sky blue shade. We only use 10% of our brain. Well, speaking for myself, that's true, but it's overall false. The idea about hiding incredible powers in the rest of our brain makes for a good movie, but in reality, it's different. We actually use 100% of our brain all the time. It's only that parts of it are more active than others in different circumstances. The origins of the 10% myth date back to the 1890s with Harvard psychologists William James and Boris Sidis. Lobsters taste with their feet. Okay, this one is true. Humans actually do the same sometimes. We can taste garlic with our feet. Rub some of it on the bottom of your bare foot and enjoy the taste in your mouth. The chemical that gives garlic its unique smell gets absorbed through the skin, passes through the bloodstream, and ends up in your mouth and nose. Well, I think it's a good thing that we don't have to taste everything we step in. Moving on. Apes are our ancestors. Nope. We are all primates and have some common but very distinct ape ancestor with species like chimpanzees. Still, evolution works in a more complex way than that. The family tree divides, after which each species develops in their own direction. That way, humans and apes got many distinctive features after dividing their lineage in a very distant past. Then maybe Neanderthals are our ancestors? Myth again. Even though they lived at the same time modern humans at one point, they mostly inhabited different areas of our planet. So they're not just a stage of human development, but a different lineage. They were also pretty creative. They used fire, made tools, ate medicinal plants, cleaned their teeth, and did so many more things similar to our species. Neanderthals probably went extinct because of the harsh climate changes. The sun is yellow. Not true. This is an illusion created by the Earth's atmosphere. The true color of the sun is white. It all depends on the temperature. The cooler the star is, the deeper and darker it is. So the coolest stars are dark red or brown, and then there are hotter red stars. If the star is about 10,000 degrees Kelvin, it's blue. The Sun is not the hottest star, so with a surface temperature of about 6,000 Kelvin, it is white. Black holes are actual holes. This is a myth. Contrary to what the name implies, they aren't empty. They are very dense objects with an extremely strong gravitational pull. Here, step into this. Whoops! If you venture into a desert, you probably still need to grab an umbrella. True. It's a common misconception that it never rains in deserts. For example, the Sonoran Desert in Arizona is probably one of the wettest deserts on Earth, with up to 20 inches of rain per year. Dogs can only distinguish black and white. Myth. Sure thing your pup won't tell the difference between maroon and purple, but dogs do see a few colors. Their dominant ones are blue and yellow. For instance, when doggies see a rainbow, it looks for them as a sequence of brownish, light yellow, gray, light blue, and dark blue. Cats need whiskers for balance. Ah, that's a myth again. Cats need their whiskers to feel what's around them, not to maintain their balance. Also, whiskers help them see and navigate, so they basically act as antennae. The Great Wall of China is the only object made by people that's visible from space. Not true. NASA photos prove that there are quite a lot of human-made objects you can see from space. There are highways, bridges, some large airports, and even the Kennedy Space Center. Goldfish have a 3-second-long memory. No, but I do. Fish are actually really smart. One study showed goldfish could tell the difference between two classical songs. They're not quick learners, true, but after over 100 sessions, they did it, which wouldn't be possible if their memory could only last for 3 seconds. The deep sea is completely dark. Myth. Yeah, sunlight penetrates deep waters weakly, so technically we can say that below 3,200 feet there's officially no light. However, there's another type of light down there. It's all about blue and green luminescence. It generates light thanks to an enzyme called luciferase. It breaks down high-energy molecules and produces photons in bacteria and some deep-sea fish bodies. The ostrich buries its head in the sand. Not true. The bird would most likely have big problems because of suffocation in this case. What really happens is that they lay their head and neck down against the ground. Since these parts are light-colored, they blend in, which actually explains why people think their heads are buried in the sand. Also, the Earth is round. Or is it? Well, technically it has flattened poles, together with a bulge at the equator. That way, it has an irregular shape of an ellipsoid. Hey, remember that one for your next party conversation. Water boils when you add a bit of salt. That's a myth. It doesn't make any difference, and even if it does, it may even take longer for the water to boil. Porcupines shoot their quills. No, not quite. These quills are on their tail, sides, and back. They lay flat until the animal starts feeling threatened, but it's not their defense mechanism, since quills are rather soft to the touch. Maybe the myth occurred because these quills may detach if you touch them. A camel's hump is for water storage. No. These humps store fat, while the extra water is stored in their bloodstream. A blue whale's tongue is so big, it can weigh as much as a full-grown elephant. Well, that's true. Yep, these fellas are huge. Also, the heart of a blue whale is almost as big as a small piano. Wait a minute, heartstrings, piano strings. That must mean that blue whales can play the piano. And that's how these myths sometimes get started. You lose more heat through your head. Nah. The real reason people believe so is because when it's cold, our head is the only part we're most likely to keep uncovered. If we went outside wearing just a t-shirt, we'd lose heat through our arms. So, wear a hat, guys. Meanwhile, if you're wearing only a t-shirt outside in winter, it's not only going to be your arms that get chilly. That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.